Direct Nickel is a nickel processing company and a nickel mining company that could revolutionise, we believe it will revolutionise the way that nickel is produced and transform the nickel market. My name's Julian Malnic, I'm the Executive Chairman of Direct Nickel, and this is Russell Debney, my long-time working partner, and he's the CEO of Direct Nickel. In this short presentation, we'd like to tell you about our capital offering and also a little bit about the technical aspects of the project. Rusty, would you like to maybe run through some of the details of the offering and the timing, please?
Yes, we're about to take Direct Nickel to the market by way of a reverse takeover. In the course of that, we're seeking to approach the market to raise a minimum of $15 million. We might go to $20 million if the market is strong, for the purpose of ensuring that we are fully funded right the way through to the end of the final stage of the testing and demonstration of the D&I process. So this fundraising is expected to take place sometime in the next 2 months. That coincides with the period that we've allotted for the completion of the transaction, and at the end of that, Direct Nickel will be a company listed on the Australian Stock Exchange and able to trade its stock. The offering and the terms of the offering, of course, will be fully set out in all of the relevant documents that will be issued as part of the regulatory proposal.
Just as a point of interest, we are doing this as a reverse takeover, right? Not as a IPO.
Yeah, this is not the first time, of course, we've done this, mate, as you may recall. Direct Nickel, of course, is following in the steps of Nautilus Minerals, which is a company that we started almost 15 years ago and which was listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange in 2006. We did that by way of a reverse takeover. We found it an effective way of bringing the company to the market. It enabled us to ensure that the company was well funded, that the pricing of the stock was something that we were in control of, and we were able to deliver to our shareholders at that time a serious and valuable increase in their investment. And of course the company has gone on from strength to strength from there. In fact, it might be a good thing to actually say something about Nautilus, Jules. That's really where it all started.
Yeah, I'd love to tell you the whole story, but very briefly, Nautilus is a revolutionary marine mining company that is about to start mining in the next couple of years high-grade sulphides on the seafloor. And many people said we couldn't do it, and we're getting dreadfully close to that happening. So certainly I'd refer you to the Nautilus website and you can learn about our previous achievements, but we are very proud of it, and I'd love to soak up some more time telling you about it. I guess the highlight is that it's a innovative and revolutionary company, and as is Direct Nickel, which is probably my segue to give a little background on what makes up this company. The core of the company is a process for making nickel from nickel laterite. We call it hydrometallurgy. You know, pyrometallurgy involved fire and is the furnace, a traditional way of making metals. This is very much a digital age solution for dissolving nickel laterites and at low cost, making low operating and capital cost, making nickel, cheap nickel, low-cost nickel from nickel laterites, which is a very abundant resource. I mean, the highlights of the group, we're a quality team. We've got a track record. We've got a bunch of high-quality silverbacks who are well known around the industry, and we have and respected with our shareholders, who are Tech Resources of Canada and the CSIRO of Australia. Investors and shareholders, so very good technical team, well integrated with those other technical teams. It's a unique business model, so it's not your standard drill hole only company. We are drilling in Papua New Guinea right now, but the model is really to drive our access to resources with this discovery, this secret weapon technology that we have. The costs and the capital costs, we'll be putting up a diagram on that, but it's basically take your normal existing laterite process. We've got 40% of the capital cost and 40% of the operating cost.
Of comparable processes.
Yeah, and so we sort of figure we're a a small company now. We've got the ingredients to be the biggest nickel company in the world, and certainly to become a multi-billion-dollar company. So, Rusty, you might like to tell us a little bit more about the partnerships and.
Yeah, when we started Direct Nickel, we realised that probably the most important thing that we could do was to ensure that we had credibility in the company from day one. That can be obtained in lots of ways, but we found through our 15 years of operating together that the best way to do that is to ensure that you have quality partners, quality strategic partners and quality investors. So we approached a number of parties and were delighted to bring on board Tech Resources, as they're now called. They used to be called Tech Cominco, and they of course were significant and still are significant partners in the Nautilus joint venture. So they had obviously seen the quality of the work that we'd done. They took the view that this was a similarly exciting project capable of meeting their strategic needs, so they joined with us. Oxiana, now Oz, also joined, and by the way, both Tech and Oxiana, as they then were significant investors in the company as well. So it wasn't just a technical partnership, but it was a financial partnership as well. And between the two of those companies, they've invested probably the best part of $10 million in our work to date. And Tech, of course, is continuing. One shareholder that you didn't mention, Jules, that we regard as a significant strategic partner is Regency Mines, an AIM-listed company on the London Stock Exchange. They are our joint venture partners in the Bambari joint venture. They've invested as a shareholder, and along with us, they're investing in that exciting project that we'll say something a little bit more about in a minute.
Okay, look, flipping right away from the corporate, the process is revolutionary because we don't apply pressure to the reaction. I mean, there's been a series of processes in the past that rely on pressure and using exotic metals. Ours is a 304 stainless tank farm. We get very good recoveries in a short period of time. We recycle our reagent 100%, and we can up to 100% depending how much effort we put to it. But we have a very high recovery of our reagent, and we treat, it's the first process to treat the entire laterite profile, so limonites down through saprolites. The construction is fairly straightforward welding rod construction, and that gives us the very low capital cost that we enjoy. We can scale up from 5,000 tonnes of nickel a year. We don't have the usual constraints that the other ferronickel and pressure acid leach technologies have, and we also produce a tailing that has significant environmental benefits. It's in fact, we think we can grow grass on it.
We should also say, just to complete that story, that our recoveries are very high, Jules. We're getting 95% of nickel, possibly a little bit more.
In 2 to 4 hours.
In 2 to 4 hours, yes. So it's a continuous process. It's a lock cycle process. Because it's a hydrometallurgical process, as you said, it's easy to scale up, and it's a process that's likely to take the world by storm. Yeah. It's certainly a game changer at a time when the other technologies are suffering severe difficulties, and as you mentioned earlier, are also suffering from high capital costs and high operating costs. And to repeat that, we are going to come in at around about 40% of the cost of those alternative processes. So it's a serious game changer, and it's only 12 months away.
So an investment in direct nickel is a little bit different to taking the punt on putting drill holes into the mountainside, straight exploration play. Today, in nickel laterites, we have drilled out around the globe 120 years supply of nickel. Nickel is one of the more precious base metals. And here we are unconstrained by supply. With Mambari, we've shown the access that we can get to those resources. Every resource that we're involved with, we're going to have shareholding in, an equity shareholding. We're not going to license the process out. The process is IP protected and with a sophisticated IP strategy. So the benefit of this technology, and look at it this way, it's a key that will not just go into one lock, but into 100 locks of different deposits around the world. And as we farm into those, we'll be accruing nickel onto our books, and we'll also be increasing the acceptance of our process around the world over time and removing any discount that the market may see for this being a new process. So there's two growth turbines. There's the accumulation of nickel resources and the removal of risk from the or perception of risk, particularly on the newness of the process. So that we see that leading to some very rapid growth.
Yeah, I'd summarise it, I think, by saying that we're a mining company with a unique technology. Yes, we're focusing very heavily at the moment on bringing the technology to fruition, and we're very close to having completed that. But our business model is very much that of a mining company with a unique technology that's going to put us in a very, very strong position in the future nickel markets.
Just to close also, Rusty, is to say that we are drilling in Papua New Guinea. We've got 5 to 7 million tonnes of contained nickel. The other use of proceeds, of course, will be the test plant that we're building in the absolutely dream facility that we have at Waterford in Western Australia. And that's under construction now. The plant's arriving, and we'll be taking 150 tonne bulk samples from various deposits. We've tested 35 deposits from around the world, and they all scrub up beautifully. We get great recoveries, and we know we've got a really strong process. So,
can I add to that, Jules, by saying that the Waterford facility is run by the CSIRO, Australia's leading research and science organisation. I don't think we've mentioned it yet, but the CSIRO is not only a partner in a strategic and in a technical sense, but they're also an investor directly in Direct Nickel. And guess what? They're an investor in Nautilus as well. So there again, you've got a company that, or at least an organisation that has followed us into this one, and they're providing a wide range of support services to us there. And as you mentioned, an absolutely magnificent facility for us to be building this plant. And by the way, that plant is well and truly under construction right now. We've got equipment being delivered to the site. There's lots of shiny stainless steel there for people to see, and it's something that's very, very, very quickly becoming a reality.
So for those of you who know us, we certainly appreciate your investment support in this new revolutionary company that we've built. We're very proud of it, and the quality of the work that we've put into it has been second to none. So we'd love to see you back, any Nautilus investors, and we certainly would encourage you to learn more by getting onto the link below. You can ring us directly, either of us, and learn more about it, and certainly look forward to your investment support in this exciting new company.